It was a quiet morning deep in the Rocky Mountains, the sun rising softly over the treetops, casting golden light across the forest floor. A group of hikers moved slowly along a narrow trail, enjoying the peaceful silence of nature, until one of them noticed something unusual beneath a cluster of pine trees. Lying there, barely moving, was a majestic bald eagle. His feathers were ruffled, his wing twisted unnaturally, and his piercing eyes told a story of pain and exhaustion. He didn't try to fly. He didn't even try to run. He simply watched, proud and silent, as the hikers approached. They knew they couldn't leave him. With no cell service and miles away from help, they worked quickly, removing their jackets, gathering fallen branches, and creating a makeshift stretcher. Carefully, they lifted the eagle, now named Freedom, and began the long trek back through the forest. Step by step, hour by hour, they carried the great bird across rocky paths, over streams, and through dense brush, driven by a quiet determination to give him another chance at life. At the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, Freedom was examined with urgency and care. The X-rays revealed a fractured wing, serious but treatable. Even more concerning was the discovery of lead poisoning, likely from scavenging prey that had been contaminated by bullets. For wild birds, this often means the end. But for Freedom, it was just the beginning of a long road to healing. He was restless, aggressive even, unwilling to let anyone close. He refused food, flapped his good wing violently, and shrieked at the touch of his caretakers. But slowly, day by day, the walls he had built began to come down. Through patience, gentle handling, and tireless care, he began to eat again. He allowed people near. And then, finally, he allowed them to help him. Weeks turned into months. Freedom's broken wing mended, and the lead was flushed from his system. His body grew stronger, and so did his spirit. He was no longer the frightened, grounded creature from the forest floor. He was once again the symbol of strength and freedom he was born to be. Then, one bright morning, the moment came. The staff gathered at a cliffside clearing overlooking the valley, the very landscape where Freedom had once ruled the skies. As his crate was opened, he stood for a moment at the edge, silent, still. Then, with a single powerful beat of his wings, he launched into the air. Higher and higher he climbed, catching the wind, circling once above the crowd as if to say thank you, before vanishing into the endless blue. Freedom's flight was more than just a return to the wild, it was a reminder. That one act of compassion can change a life. That every creature, no matter how broken, deserves a chance to heal. And that even when we fall, with care, with love, and with hope, we can rise again.